Some stories were never meant to be heard. But you pressed play. Welcome to Mr. Creepy Official. When I booked the Airbnb, I expected peace, quiet, maybe even a little adventure. But the host wasn't just welcoming, he never left the house, not even once. If you're brave enough to survive this story, prove it, like, share, and subscribe before the darkness finds you. The listing had looked harmless enough, cozy countryside home, perfect for weekend getaways, quiet surroundings. The pictures showed a warm cabin tucked in the woods, with wooden floors, a stone fireplace, and a soft bed. The price was shockingly low, but I didn't question it. I wanted to get away from the noise of the city. The drive was long, and as the hours passed, I saw fewer and fewer cars. The last 30 miles felt endless, winding roads through dense forest, my headlights the only light cutting through the blackness. My GPS kept cutting out, and every time it froze, I gripped the steering wheel a little tighter. Finally, I pulled onto a dirt driveway. The house stood alone at the end, 2 stories high, its windows glowing faintly in the dusk. The surrounding trees pressed close, swallowing the last of the daylight. The host was already standing on the porch. He stepped out before I even parked, waving as if he'd been waiting for me. His smile stretched too wide across his face, but I tried to push the thought away. "Welcome, welcome," he said warmly. "Long drive, wasn't it?" I nodded. "Yeah. Barely saw another car out here." "Good," he said simply. "That's the point." Inside, the house smelled faintly of old wood, mixed with something sharp, metallic. The furniture was old-fashioned, grandfather clocks, heavy rugs, and portraits of unsmiling people I didn't recognize. He gave me a tour, insisting on showing every room himself. When we reached my guest room upstairs, he lingered in the doorway. "I'm just across the hall," he said softly. "If you need anything at all, I'll be right there." His words clung to me longer than they should have that night, the silence of the woods pressed in on me. No cars. No neighbors. Just endless dark. I climbed into bed and tried to sleep, but the old house creaked and groaned in unsettling ways. And then I heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. In the hallway. Back and forth. Back and forth. I sat up in bed, straining my ears. The sound moved closer to my door, then stopped. I waited, holding my breath. My heart thundered so loudly I thought he'd hear it through the door. And then, the floorboards groaned, like someone shifting their weight just outside. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I came downstairs to find breakfast already waiting for me. Eggs. Bacon. Toast. The host sat across the table, watching me with an intensity that made me uneasy. "You didn't sleep well," he said flatly. I froze. "What makes you say that?" "You look tired." His lips curled into a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Later, when I returned upstairs, I found a folded note slipped under my door. It read, "Please don't lock your door at night. It's safer this way." The words made my skin crawl. Who was it safer for? Days passed, and I realized something strange. The host never left. Not for groceries. Not for work. Not even to step outside. He was always there. One afternoon, when he dozed off in the living room, I crept down into the basement. The air grew colder with each step. At the far end, I found a padlocked door. Scratches scarred the wood, deep grooves like fingernails dragged across it. Before I could get closer, a voice echoed from the top of the stairs. "What are you doing down there?" The host. His smile was gone. His eyes were dark, sharp. "Just looking," I stammered. I got curious. His jaw clenched. "The basement isn't for guests." He escorted me back upstairs without another word, but his eyes followed me the rest of the night. That night, I woke to the sound of my door creaking open. I had locked it. I know I had. But now, it swung slowly inward. The host stood in the doorway, smiling in the dark. "I told you not to lock it," he whispered. I lunged for my phone, but there was no signal. My heart pounded as I backed toward the window, ready to jump if I had to. He stepped into the room, his footsteps deliberate, slow. "You're not the first guest. To stay here," he said softly. "But maybe you'll be the one who understands." From behind him, down the hall, I heard it, other footsteps. Multiple. Too many. Whispers carried through the air, low and broken, as if dozens of voices spoke at once. I bolted past him, sprinting down the stairs, but when I reached the front door, I froze. The photographs on the wall, dozens of them, were of past guests. Their eyes scratched out. And the most recent one, was me that I don't know how I escaped. My memory after that point is fractured, running through the woods, stumbling in the dark, hearing laughter behind me that didn't sound human. When I finally reached the road and flagged down a passing car, I didn't look back. But last week, curiosity got the better of me. I checked Airbnb again. The listing is still there. Same pictures. Same description. Same host smiling on the porch. And now the reviews, they're all 5 stars. Dozens of them. Glowing comments about the host, the house, the peaceful surroundings. But when I click on the reviewers' profiles, none of them have ever left another review. Not before. Not after. Just that one. And sometimes, late at night, I wonder, if I hadn't escaped when I did, would my smiling review be there too?